Hello, fellow consumers of products. I am here to defend multi-billion-dollar corporations. I am Product Reviewer Man. Actually, this is a Patreon request video. Get yours today. Today's topic is Ghost in the Shell video by Best Guy Ever. You don't have to watch it because I'm going to render it obsolete with my facts and logic. If you're watching this video, then you're probably aware that Ghost in the Shell is a beloved sci-fi anime series that was remade by Hollywood a few years ago, and if to say it's not as beloved, before the film even came out, people were upset that a Japanese character is now Scarlett Johansson. I don't see the big deal. I love to be Scarlett Johansson. Comparing anime to the adaptations is almost inherently going to be disappointing. Obviously, a piece of media being based on another piece of media has nothing to do with its overall quality, but is being a good movie that's based on something the same as being a good adaptation? I don't know. Who cares? It's not important. That's not what this video is about. It's not what this video is about. I think society has progressed past the book was better meme that was popular around the time of Harry Potter movies, Hunger Games, Maze Runner. Yeah, fuck it, it's dumb, who cares? Everything by Hollywood is made based on something now. You just don't know what the source material is because it's not that important. But someone does, and that's what's important. They just know that somebody out there is reading the news on this fucking indie webcomic and they're like, dude, we gotta fucking make a movie about this. Because then those people watch the movie, guaranteed. That's what they think, they're retarded, but it's true, I guess, because people do. That's why there's a Ghost in the Shell movie. Unlike anime, there's a lot of leeway when translating something like a novel to a film. There's no one-to-one direct comparison. You can't just look at an anime and see, oh, this is how it looks, this is how it sounds. And you look at the film, it's like, that's different. With a book, you just read it. It's not the same. You just imagine it. It's not real. It's nothing that's like literally there. It's just what you see in your head. And what you see in your head can be malleable. It's not literal. I mean, just look at the Scott Pilgrim movie. Same hair, kind of. Same shirt. It's the same character. Who cares? That's not a book. That's a comic book. Harry Potter books, you say Hermione's got frizzy hair, she's a big nerd, looks ugly as fuck. Look at Emma Watson, it's not the same. Who cares? It's Emma Watson. No one cares. It's not a big deal. And that brings us to Ghost in the Shell, the elephant in the room. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say the things that nobody wants me to say, but I'm gonna say it. This ain't your mama's anime review. The Makoto Kusanagi 1995 Ghost in the Shell doesn't look the same as Ghost in the Shell manga character. Oh, I said it. It's the different thing. I said it's different. Someone's gonna shoot me now. Oh, I forgot it's okay because she's not a white woman. I hate white women. White people are the devil. I forgot, so it's okay. I'm so stupid. Ugh. Mamoru Oshii, how could you ruin this beloved sci-fi character with this new design? In the world of anime adaptations, the manga to anime pipeline seems to be the most easily understood. This has led to the cultural idea that manga are basically just the blueprints for an eventual anime series. After all, having an anime adaptation is pretty much the goal for every mangaka, and at the very least, they wouldn't say no to one. But thinking of manga in this way ignores the fact that anime and manga are completely different art forms. In manga, you have to account for pacing, shading, shot composition. The mangaka's specific artistic choices will be thrown out in favor of whatever the anime episode director wants to do. But no one gets mad about that, do they? Because it doesn't really matter, huh? It's not that important, is it? Oh, but a character design's wrong. Kill him. Die. That's illegal. They had the characters have to look the same because when I look up porn of them, it has to be the same character. If it's not the same character, what's the point? Characters are just appearance. That's all a character is. Appearance. It doesn't matter if they act the same. Doesn't matter if they think the same. No, it doesn't matter. They have to look exactly the same. Otherwise, who cares? It's not the same character. I'm making fun of you, by the way. I'm making fun of people who think like that. It's not what I actually think. It's satire. That's satire. So I'd like to clarify that I'm not actually upset that manga and anime aren't identical. If that wasn't clear, that's my real opinion. I actually encourage adaptations being different. The parts of the Ghost in the Shell 2017 movie that I enjoyed the most were the parts that they weren't ripping directly from the original. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly Ghost in the Shell is. Is it following Makoto Kusanagi? Is it cyberpunk themes? Is it a sci-fi setting? Is it the legal definition of Ghost in the Shell? Is anything stamped with a stamp by fucking whoever made it says that's Ghost in the Shell? Does that make it Ghost in the Shell? Because then the new movie's Ghost in the Shell. People don't like that. People be upset if it's Ghost in the Shell. They don't like the carrots and peas touching. Mom gave me a new plate. I don't like my carrots and peas touching. If Ghost in the Shell isn't exactly the same as it was before, then I won't like it. So how about that 2017 Ghost in the Shell movie? Surely I wouldn't be up here making a big dog and pony show if it wasn't like good, right? Comparing the two Ghost in the Shell movies is like comparing lemons and oranges. They share superficial similarities like, the title, the character name, some scenes, but at their core, they're completely different things. And having watched both films back to back for the first time, I can kind of understand why someone might enjoy the remake more. The original's strongest aspect is definitely its aesthetic. The film's urban landscapes still look better than most anime coming out, and I found myself pausing the movie just to admire the artwork. But someone accustomed to Hollywood-style pacing would just find these scenes boring. I mean, it really just comes down to what you value in a film. Japanese people are just, they're fine with taking it slow, taking it easy. I blame Yasujiro Ozu, famous 1960s director Yasujiro Ozu. It's his fault. Watch movies. There's also the issue of the story. The original movie's plot is pretty straightforward. In fact, I don't think it could be any more straightforward. If you're going to get anything out of it, it would be the sci-fi concepts and philosophical themes. The plot doesn't really have a lot going on. And combined with the robotic personality of the characters, the original Ghost in the Shell movie doesn't do a lot to pull at your heartstrings. It's just not that kind of movie. It's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing. It just is what it is. People like it, people don't. It's not a coincidence that Togosa, who is the least augmented member of Section 9, is more personable than his cyborg co-workers. Thought was put into the movie as his themes. Ghost in the Shell is the best at what it does, but what it does is not perceived as marketable to an international audience. Personally, I'm not upset or, God forbid, offended that the new movie isn't a one-to-one recreation of the original. In fact, the best parts of the movie are when it's trying to do something different. Whenever they try to do something the same as the original, it just becomes painfully obvious that you're just watching a cheap imitation. And without the stylization of anime, the cinematography also just falls flat. If those 2 or 3 scenes weren't there and the, name Ghost in the Shell wasn't in the title, you probably wouldn't think these 2 movies were connected. Just think it was a movie inspired by Ghost in the Shell. But since they are connected, I feel like it's worth comparing the themes between the 2. While both films tackle the topic of transhumanism, they come at it from different ways, and I think it's best exemplified by the 2 villains' motivations. The Puppet Master's goal is to evolve past his artificial state by fusing with the Major, because being on the internet all day makes you want to die. The villain in the Scourger version is not the Puppet Master, technically. It's a guy named Kuze who's a cyborg like the Major, and he just wants revenge on the company that made him. It's obviously not as high-minded as the original, but I do think it's a more relevant topic. After all, it won't be too long before we see cybernetic humans and sentient AI is still like science fiction stuff. In the new version, the Major, whose name is Mira Killian by the way, is the first ever Ghost in the Shell. Other people have cybernetic enhancements, but she's the only one of a kind, allegedly. This is one of the changes I really like. By presenting the technology as new and exciting, it adds more significance to the Major's character and justifies her being a more central focus in a plot with more moving parts. For example, there's this company called Honka, which took people off the streets, mind-wiped them, and put them into cybernetic bodies against their will. Fucked up shit. That's bad. They killed like 100 people, and then they made the Major, and were like, we definitely didn't kill 100 people. That's made up. That's a 4chan rumor. But you know how Hollywood movies work, they, figure it out eventually. But my point is that this is a much more direct and logical link between, the outside forces and the Major. In the original movie, Puppet Master, just like, I saw you on the internet, I saw your OnlyFans in Makoto, pretty hot. Let's become the same person. Fucked up too, but it's a different kind of fucked up. It's like sexy fucked up. And if you're wondering, because I have to say this, because it's probably talking about the new Ghost in the Shell movie, her name, Mira Killian, the white lady, it's not actually a real name, it's a white person name. She has a real name, it's Makoto Kusanagi. Oh my gosh, she's actually Japanese, but she was turned white by an evil company. It's like what happened to the movie. It's like the same. They gave her a nice Japanese mom. The Major's backstory isn't really relevant in the 1999 film, and I know it's not the point, but learning about a character, pretty based, bro. It's nice. It's nice to know what kind of apples she liked. And while the name change is clearly a cop-out so they could have Scarlett Johansson play instead of just having a Japanese character, be the thing, it adds to the themes. It's a big thing about corporations and oppressing people. It's cool, you know how I am. I like bad things that have good things in them. Yeah, you get it. And I have to mention, because people get mad at me, Ghost in the Shell is not about white corporations, evil corporations taking advantage of people. It's about how cool science fiction is. It's about how cool cyborgs are, dude. I get it, okay, but it's fine. No, things can't be different. I get it, it's fine, whatever. Which brings us to the next question. Why even make a remake in the first place? If I was some corporate stooge, I'd tell you it's so we can introduce Ghost in the Shell to a new audience, to a new generation of people. And even if I was even worse, I'd say It's so we could improve it with modern technology, and then I'd shoot myself in the head. Cause die. Who would say such a thing? Oh wait, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's talk about that now. It's the same, but better. New graphics, modern design choices. Fuck. As if Final Fantasy VII could be boiled down to whatever details you could find on a Wikipedia page and not the actual experience of playing Final Fantasy VII. Just like the 2017 Gits movie, Final Fantasy VII Remake should have just been a game inspired by Final Fantasy VII. The only reason it's not is because they had the licensing rights and they want to milk you for money. Don't forget that. I mean, any remake is for the money, I guess. You know, corporate fat cats valuing your intelligence and decision-making skills so lowly, they think you'll just buy anything with the same name as the thing you liked before. I mean, I guess it's true. People buy Funko Pops, Pez dispensers. Should we support these creatively bankrupt ideas when we could be supporting new and creative things? I don't know. I'm not your boss. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I'm on the prowl all the time for the hot new indie films. I'm not. Does it make me a hypocrite? No. Because I'm not the one complaining about remakes. I don't care about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't care about Ghost in the Shell 2017. I like it when things are different. The fact that these two things are different has no bearing on my enjoyment of either of these things. They're different movies. They're different Wikipedia pages. I understand this, please. Sure, someone looking at the names on Google might be a little confused, but figure it out. It's not that complicated. It's not rocket science. It's a movie. Chill. Another argument surrounding remakes is that somehow the new one impacts the old one. One side of the argument is, no, that's dumb. Obviously, new things can be bad and old things can still be good. The other side of the argument is wrong. Nuanced take. Ask any normie on the street how they feel about Game of Thrones. They'll say, oh yeah, it was good and then it got bad, but I still like it because I like the good parts and I don't like the bad parts. And then you could say, okay, people are capable of nuanced opinions. I'm not capable of reading sentences. The worst case scenario, I guess, is you say, man, I love Ghost in the Shell, and then someone says, you mean the 2017 Scarlett Johansson movie? And you go, no, I mean the original 1995 movie. And they go, oh, cool. And that's the end of the scene. That's the end of the video. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe. Go to my Patreon if you want a video for me to talk about things like this guy did. Click on the buttons if you're not a subscriber or haven't seen the other videos. I'm wrong. Fuck. I meant to say I'm right. I fucked it up. I'm supposed to say I'm right, you're wrong, but I fucked it up.